Alright, welcome back to another Kuma Style review. I'm your host, TJ Duckett, and today we have Hasbro's Toys R Us exclusive Masterpiece Optimus Prime. Now, this isn't the first Masterpiece that Hasbro's released here in the US. This is the one using the Takara MP-10 mold, and not the previous MP-1 and MP-04, I believe. That mold, the bigger one. So what we're going to do, since I already have reviewed the Takara version, is pretty much just take an overview and get a look at this one and the differences. I'll go ahead and link to my review of the Takara one in case you're looking for more details like the transformations and things like that. But let's go ahead and get started. Alright, zoom out a little bit here. And just going ahead and looking at this version. The colors, as strange as it sounds, the best comparison I could make is if you have both the Hasbro Classics and Takara Henkai version of the Voyager Optimus Prime mold, these are pretty much synonymous with those colors. This Hasbro version of the Masterpiece, just like the Classics version, has more of a bright red, bright blue, and yellow highlight. You know, that kind of vibe, while the Takara version has a little bit darker, less of the yellow highlights, things like that. But like I said, after we get a good look at this, I'll also go ahead and, bring in the Takara version to compare. But right now, I just want to go ahead and give you guys a look from all sides. Make sure my hands aren't in the way here. Yeah, it's been a little while since I've reviewed. I was actually just on vacation. Got back tonight, actually, from Colorado. And it was an awesome time. Nice to kind of get away from things, spend some time with the missus, all that good stuff. But, anyway, there's a look at the alt mode. And let me go ahead and separate the trailer here. Alright, we're actually moving Prime out for a moment. Taking out these stands. And okay. Let's go ahead and open up these doors here. Alright, and we have Roller. Along with Spike. Alright, and you'll see that Roller is sporting the blue color scheme. Okay, let's go ahead and get Spike out. He does tend to kind of wobble around. He can't sit straight up, but you have to have his legs pretty perfect there. And I haven't necessarily mastered that yet. So I'll take the blame for that one. But taking a look at that, we'll also go ahead and get Spike out of the car. And alright, there we go with him. I also want to go ahead and take a look at the Takara Tommy version of Spike, so that you can see the difference. And looking at him, not really much. The color-wise, they're about exactly the same. The only major difference that I'm noticing in looking over the two, the hair on the Hasbro version is a bit darker. The shirt on the Takara version is more of a peach, while the Hasbro version looks gray. Your mileage may vary, and it could vary on me depending on how the lighting is tomorrow, or etc., etc. But on the face and on the hair, the Hasbro version, I don't know if it's gloss or the paint itself, but it does have more of that shiny reflective gloss, whereas the Takara Tommy version is more of a matte color. And taking a look at the rollers, it's very blatant where the differences in those lie. Go ahead and zoom out here. Yeah, I mean, one's silver while the other one's blue. This is more of a metallic, shiny finish, while at the same time, this one, it looks like it was just not even painted, it's just blue plastic, and the black parts were painted. So, yeah, I personally prefer the silver roller, but neither of them are bad, and rollers aren't something that make or break the, product itself. Now, before I go ahead and open up the trailer, I do want to go ahead and give you a quick comparison of how it looks compared to the Takara version. And this is nice because I can kind of just set it on top here. Alright, do I actually have enough space here? Okay, and let me hold this up actually. You'll notice they're exactly the same. Paint on the outside to finish, they are literally 100% the exact same on the outside. Now, on the inside though, that's where it does get different. So I'll go ahead and open this guy up. Alright. Got it facing backwards there. Not too hard to correct. Alright. Make sure my stands are out here. And sorry, it has been a while since I've transformed this, but let me go ahead and get the camera raised up. Okay. Alright. And the biggest difference here is that the base parts are going to be that blue instead of the navy that you see inside of the Takara trailer. So sorry about the bit of shakiness here. We gotta adjust it because I want you to see what I'm referring to. Okay. So there's that on the Takara, you know. Alright, now opening up, and I don't have enough room in my setup here to have them both side by side, so what I'm going to do is just zoom out a bit here and switch them. So I'll take that, replace it with that, and you'll see here the palette is swapped for a more navy gray or a navy blue, while the grays are about exactly the same. Now, one thing that is different, the detailing on the inside of the trailer. Actually, zoom out here. Does have that silver finish on the sides here, top and bottom, as you can see. While the Hasbro version does not. It is that straight gray plastic. The outsides are painted exactly the same, but the internals, there is quite a bit of difference there. Now, I do like both of them, but I actually kind of prefer on the insides at least, the blue on the Hasbro version, which surprises me because definitely more of a fan of navy blue in general. So, alright. Now, for what people probably care most about, turn my camera down. I'm sorry guys, like I said, just getting back to reviews and stuff, so working with the camera and everything like that. Still kind of an adjustment there. But alright, now we have the Hasbro cab, as well as the Takara MP-10 version. Okay, so let's get everything adjusted and pretty and sharp. Okay, now make sure the light's adjusted. The reds honestly aren't too far off. The red on the Hasbro version, honestly, naked eye, you can't see much difference. Takara Tommy does have the emblem here. They both have the same silver lining and things like that. The Hasbro version does have the painted headlights. And yeah, they even share the Autobot symbol in the same place. So that's a non-factor. They both have the chrome finish in the same place in the alt mode, on the bumper, grill, you know, window lining. So neither of them is lacking paint apps. In fact, the Hasbro version actually has more if you consider, you know, the lights up here. But the big difference is going to be the blues, which, as you can see, just like the internals of the trailer, are navy versus the bright blue. Now, one's definitely more of an homage to the actual cartoon, while the other is an homage to the G1 toy. Cartoon, G1 toy. Which do I prefer? I do like the more navy blue on the robot mode, not gonna lie, but both of them look really, really nice. But let me go ahead and give you guys views of both. I'm actually gonna raise the camera up here again. Alright. More of a top side view. Alright. And I'm sorry, but the rearview mirrors are kind of a peeve of mine. Alright. But yeah, I mean, look at him head on. Outside of that one piece of paint app, exact same. Okay. Alright, and next we're going to go ahead and move on to bot mode. Alright, and now for robot mode. Just taking an overview of this and getting some comparisons in here. Zoom out just a tiny bit. Sorry for not adjusting beforehand. But yeah, as you can see here, very bright color scheme, you know, in terms of the reds and how they play off the yellow and the gold. And even a lighter gray for the legs and this crotch area, if you want to call it. It's actually the same on Takara MP-10, this area. But the legs are definitely darker here. And yeah. You saw a lot of his color scheme, you know, in the alt mode and everything like that. Pretty much the only thing exposed now is the legs. He still has the ability to go ahead and store his gun here in his back in bot mode. I prefer just attaching it to roller, because sometimes it is a pain. Alright. Going ahead. And one thing that I will go ahead and attest to before I forget to do it. One problem that I had with the Hasbro version of the MP-11 mold in Thundercracker was that the plastic just felt soft and cheap compared to the Takara version. And honestly, this plastic quality, the joints, everything feels exactly the same as the Takara version. So that's a blessing right there. But before I put his gun out, I do want to go ahead and show his matrix of leadership here. I don't know why I don't have this problem, but both the black piece and the chrome don't necessarily flip up together. But not hard. Wouldn't be hard if I had fingernails. Well, longer ones. But just taking a pen. The matrix, just like the Takara version, does fit in tight, but is removable. So, zooming in, here is the Hasbro version. and there's the Takara version. Right, you'll see the Takara version, more orangey, light blue compared to actually a more dull or navy blue. On the Hasbro version, the open sides both share it. So yeah, just wanted to go ahead and show those. I'm going to put this back in his chest. 1 second there. And of course it goes in much easier than it comes out. But alright. Get him into a stance that doesn't look like he's about to topple over. Zoom out a little bit. Alright, so let's go ahead and get Takara's MP-10 in here. And on both of them, what you see is what you get. I mean, there's not much I can do to describe the differences in the color schemes in the any more than I already have with the alt mode. But you'll see here that, of course, there is the navy blue going on. It is a darker gray in the legs there. The crotch areas, both the same. The clear plastic on this one is more of a orangey. Zoom in here. It's more of an orangey yellow, whereas this one's more of a lime green. Alright, get them so you can see them both there. Alright, and as far as the guns go, both are pretty dull besides the silver highlight right here. The gray button to take it out of the crumpled mode for storage, it's a lighter gray on here as opposed to the darker gray on the Takara version. But yeah, I mean, that's, like I said, what you see is what you get. Okay. And I just wanted to compare both of them. Oh, and one that is, you know, pretty, I'd say big, is the eyes on the Hasbro version do have the blue paint, whereas the eyes on the Takara version are the dark clear blue. And there isn't any light piping, so unfortunately, you know, it constantly looks like he's dead or asleep. I do much prefer, let me see if I can get him face by face, the blue eyes on the Hasbro version. Alright, and that's about it for the robot mode comparisons. Now, to wrap this up, the question is, of course, which do I prefer? Both of these color schemes are fantastic. While I go ahead and adjust the smokestack up, but I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was all about the Takara. The Hasbro version has really grown on me. Just the brighter color scheme. For once, Hasbro having more paint apps than a Takara one. The big thing is going to be the eyes. Not going to lie. The actual blue eyes of the Hasbro version versus the, you know, sleep mode kind of eyes of the Takara version, it really does tip the favor more than a minor detail should. One that's left out, at least. You know, that's a big one. You know, 2 small areas of paint makes such a huge difference in the face. Overall, I do like the G1 toy color scheme of the Takara version more, but the Hasbro, like the little paint apps and the overall just brighter and more vibrant look and feel, especially with those eyes, you know, painted to look lit up, yeah, it puts it over the top. And it's a plus that I believe the Takara MP-10, it retails at $240 plus shipping and handling, while the Hasbro Toys R Us exclusive one as everybody knows, it's $99.99 and readily available right now even on ToysRUs.com. So this is one, if you are a collector of repaints, both have their, ups and not really minuses, minus the eye thing or whatever. On the Takara or Tommy version, I think they're both great. I don't regret owning both of them for a second. And even if I had one, I'd still feel comfortable, buying the other one right now. So I mean, they're both worth owning. I'm a big fan of repaints and things like that. But at the same time, I understand that this is a huge, huge, huge fourth quarter in terms of all the third-party releases. Masterpiece Soundwave, Masterpiece Sideswipe, Red Alert, them just announcing a reissue of Fort Max. So it's a good time to, be watchful of your costs and things like that too. Especially if you have a lot that you want to buy. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Hasbro version actually. Like I said, just a great, bright, and complete color scheme going on for them with the full paint apps and things like that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Glad you took the time to tune in. Thank you for tuning in after I've taken a week and a half or so off of putting up anything new. And hopefully you guys continue to watch as I put up more new stuff. Thanks again for watching. Have a great one and see you next time.